Hello everyone, my name is Olga Labai. I'm a lawyer who specializes in upstream oil and gas, and this is my Smart Contracts blog. Let's begin. Force majeure provisions in contracts in upstream oil and gas. We all believed that they are absolutely standard. Just some of us have gotten into unpleasant situations with those standard clauses. But everyone got into those troubles, major troubles and major losses in year 2020. The fact is that your force majeure clause in your specific drilling or oilfield services contract or your supply contract in upstream oil and gas cannot be standard. It has to consider where are you taking your goods from, where are you supplying them to, when it's happening, and what risk that you want contractually to consider a force majeure that will lead to a certain chain of events contractually, such as parties meet and discuss, and then they cover their own losses, and then they stop paying, for instance, or they stop supplying, and then they are able to terminate the contract without additional liabilities. Those clauses, A, cannot be standard, and they need to be thought through in relation and in connection to this specific contract, this specific supply, this specific scope, the specific project, the specific territory. And that's what we didn't do when we reached with our standard force majeure clauses the year 2020. After 2020, when contractors sustained losses because of unclarity, inapplicability of those standard force majeure clauses, after operators have been simply stuck, not being able to use that clause, to have that clause fit for purpose, we all started, especially lawyers, we started to be asked to pay more attention to those clauses. And I'm, in a way, happy of this consequence that now we don't just say, hey lawyer, what are you doing negotiating force majeure clause? But we actually spend time thinking it through, detailing it, and adding those things that we now know may happen in the reality of the world. One of the interesting details about force majeure clause that I've been noticing is that very often I see the word unforeseeable in the force majeure clause. So force majeure does not really exist to simplify in law. We as two parties of the contract have to decide what we consider force majeure. And yes, it's an earthquake. Yes, it's a tidal wave. Yes, it's absolutely irregular weather conditions for offshore and onshore drilling, for instance, and oilfield services or supplies. Yes, it's a world logistical crisis as well. That can be declared as a force majeure contractually. But all of those events were linked to the definition always. And that definition of the force majeure says the force majeure is unforeseeable. And that should not be the case. Many of those events are actually foreseeable. They are outside of the control of both parties, yes, but they are foreseeable. Now we can foresee with what we see in the world the next pandemic. Now we can foresee that there are certain conditions of the climate in the current reality that are happening. If we say that force majeure is defined as an event which is unforeseeable as well, we basically exclude pretty much everything except that we couldn't foresee. Join me for my online live class where it's not pre-recorded. I will be there with you, where I will go through particular details and the recent practice after year 2020. The class is called Force Majeure Provisions in Oil and Gas Contracts. And when I say oil and gas contracts, it's a very big category of contracts. I don't mean those contracts between the host governments and the operators, called contractors in those contracts. So I don't mean the production sharing agreement or concession contracts. Those force majeure clauses we won't be discussing. Those are super specific, and they have to be super fit for purpose for that specific 25-year production sharing agreement. We are going to talk about the procurement, that capital intense procurement in upstream oil and gas, where you as a procurement professional have to procure a range, a number of services, which are almost endless. And in each of those contracts, you have to foresee, for the lack of a better word, a very fit for purpose force majeure clause. Or as a contractor, you are one of those contractors, whether you cover turnkey drilling or you cover just fishing services, cementing services. There, in that contract, you have to foresee your own specific to the contract force majeure provisions. And that's what I will cover in the class. Click the link below this video. There will always will be a lot of updates on LinkedIn. My name is Olga Labai, that's how the profile is called. Also, we have a page for oil and gas consultants. You will be updated everywhere. But if you watch this video, the easiest way to register for the live online class is to click the link below. I'll see you there. Thank you for listening.